Because hey, close enough. Another one. Congratulations, Stream Deck is not working. Piece of crap. But something else wasn't working yesterday. Something else that wasn't working yesterday. Let me call some bullshit real quick. I can see the voice volume levels going up and down. So if you're telling me that after like an hour and a half of doing all that shit, it didn't even translate to the stream, that sounds about right. A little disappointing. I'm gonna be real, y'all missed out. But that sounds about right. So, as it is a beautiful Sunday morning. You know we'll have fun here. Yeah, we're looking forward to a new week. It's a new month. That's the month of November. And if you awkward people, don't listen to them. It's a healthy bodily function as long as you know what it is that you're doing and how to operate with your own body. But it's actually very dangerous to not do that. But aside from that, you know, a cool moment to be able to like be thankful and like reflect on things. The year we're about to wind things down. Next month is the final month of the year, and a month after that, I will be officially 30 years old, and that's haunting me. However, there's still a lot to go for, right? Like I'm still pretty optimistic. I don't know where it's coming from or whatever, but I'm feeling really good about hitting 30 soon. So that's kind of interesting note to take, and I the days that are counting down, I just keep in mind of what's needs to be done and where we're at and all that stuff. So definitely still have time to have fun. Definitely still have time to, you know, organize yourself if you feel like the year hasn't been going completely to your schedule or however you would like it to be. But good point, good opportunity is that there's always going to be more time to do something better. So just in case anyone thought yesterday was a waste of time, no, because it's a step forward. So that's how I choose to take it. And with that, it's the news of the week, baby. Let's go. Because to start off, you already know a couple little vibes for the weekend before we get started. And before we get started, if you like that, if you like hanging out, then please hit that like, subscribe. You know, let's have a little fun. So. Faces all around me, they don't smile, they just crack. Waiting for our ship to come back, but our ship's not coming back. We do our time like pennies in a jar. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? There's a smell of stale fear that's reeking from our skins. The drinking never stops because the drink solves our sins. We sit and grow the roots of our floor. But what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? So give me something to believe, 'cause I am living just to breathe. And I need something more to keep on breathing for. So give me something to believe. This is out. There's something done on the ground. It swells into the air with the rising sound, and never comes and shakes the boards and rattles doors. What are we waiting for? Hey, what are we waiting for? So give me something to believe, 'cause I am living just to breathe, and I need something more to keep on reading for. So give me something to believe. I am hiding from the beast, but the beast was always there, watching without eyes, because the beast is just my fear. That I'm just nothing, that is just what I've become. What am I waiting for? It's already done. So give me something to believe, 'cause I am living just to breathe, and I need something more to keep on breathing for. So give me something to believe. And I need something more to keep on breathing for. So give me something to believe. Wow. Aha. That's the next song on the list, it says. But yeah, man, a little bit of fun. Okay, we got this. We got one more to start off. This is one that we actually played yesterday, and I was actually really excited about it, but nobody heard it, so we're just gonna go for it. Honestly, it was just practice. Oh. I'll tell you a story about the band after we finish. That's it. Some people think I'm acting worse for wear. Besides, this isn't an affair. But no one really knows me like Harvey. Once you meet him, I'll sure you agree. Yeah, I get it. You wanna know who he is, what he does. Yeah, I get it. You wanna see him and me. Oh, Harvey, nobody knows what I see. Nobody knows I'm waiting for you to come. Harvey, nobody knows what I see. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for you, homeboy. Back at the moon, I'm in the empty street, the remnants of the evening heat. Said Harvey, let me be the one to say I wouldn't dream about this anyway. Yeah, I get it. Who is he? Where he go? Where he go? I get it. You wanna see what it is? Oh, Harvey, nobody knows what I see. But maybe then I'm waiting for you to come. Harvey, nobody knows what I see. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for you, oh boy. Harvey, Nobody knows what I see. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Crazy for you, homeboy. Harvey, nobody knows what I see. Nobody knows I'm waiting, waiting for you to call. Harvey, nobody knows what I see. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, crazy for you, homeboy. Crickets. Yes, Cerritos. Yeah, quick little interlude about that song. I found out about it when I was dating this one person, and I was like, "Yo, this is a cool new band," and she's like, "Yeah, they're no longer with us." Green Day, shut up. Yeah, copyrighted. And then yeah, kind of really like put things into perspective that like, yo, man, this brand new band for me at least, like never even had a chance to kind of like vibe out. And I was never able to see them in concert, and that's just one of those things that, wow, it'd be like that. Things happen real quick, and so just gonna keep it up. And I don't know, anybody who actually knows that song, or anybody who goes like, oh, that band, that was for you. So please, thank you very much. Hey, we all know we love music, we love hanging out, we love playing these songs, but gotta know what we gotta know, my dudes. It's time. The news of the week. Catch you on a few. Yeah. So. That's right. Ah, huevo. Here we go. Global anime market grew 15%. Sheesh. That's records. 3.84 trillion yen in 2024. That's right. This is by Egan Low over at the Anime News Network. Yes. Second highest year, jumping record. Association of Japanese Animations, AJA, group headed by anime production companies, presented anime industry report for the year during TIFCOM trade events in Tokyo on Thursday. AJA reported that the global anime market grew to a record level of 3.84 trillion yen, and that included that in the domestic market, blue graph below, and 2.17 trillion yen about that overseas, red. So everything overseas and everything in Japan. Wow. Oh, sorry, that's really loud. Wow. You guys see that? It's official. Anime is the new Hollywood. Anyways. Overall growth, global market anime grew by 14.8 last year, second highest annual increase. 2024 was the third year in which the overseas market, red graph, was bigger than the domestic market. Okay. AJA calculates the global anime market, excluding not revenues from television, film, home video, and streaming releases, but also from merchandises, music events, concerts, overseas licensing, and other related sources. Everything Japanese, got it. Estimated revenues, productions grew about 9.1, highest ever at 46.2 billion yen. All right, revenues, domestic portion, blah, blah, blah. All this. Masahiro Hasegawa, editor-in-chief of AJA's Anime Industry Report 2025, explained the lower annual increase in revenues. What? Explained the lower annual increase in revenues on the production side, said by nothing that there is a time lag of 4 years before revenues from some sources, such as overseas streaming, is reflected in the revenues and production side. Interesting. On a related note, Ogata, director of the Bandai Namco Filmworks Gundam Strategy Building Group, noted that the company aims to increase overseas shares of revenues from screen releases. From 5% in fiscal year 2023. Oh shit. To year 50% in 2030. Anime is part of overseas government's 5-year action plan to double its annual entertainment sales. Overseas estimated 10 trillion yen, about 46 billion, and 20 trillion, about 130 in 2033. That is 3.7 times the sales in 2024. For all our math friends out there in the universe. Thank you very much. AJA will publish the full Anime Industry Report 2025 in early December, among other functions. AJA is one of the main sponsors of the Anime Japan convention pictured above. Okay. This one right here, Anime Japan. Oh, 2025. So yeah, I mean, not that we didn't know this was gonna be a thing. Not that anybody who has been in the anime spectrum for like more than before 2010s, I would say the 2000s era and the 2010 was the age of internet translation, where everything just kind of came over. But even then, I'm pretty sure most of us saw this coming. Maybe not like to the extent, or maybe not as, let's say, how that's almost 3 times. That's more than twice. 2 times, okay, 2 times 16 is 32. So that's almost 3 times the amount that they're making at home. And yeah, I can obviously assume that this line is gonna go even more up with stuff like Sony adding. Oh, is he dead? Stuff like Sony adding. Yeah, he is dead. Sony adding more like movie releases, theatrical releases, and it just feels like that is just gonna be the way to go. What the fuck? Ah, so verga. The fuck is your problem? Oh my god. Everything's fucking breaking down right now. Ha. Anyways, we move. We persevere. Equal. Alright. And yeah, so it's just interesting to think about again. Because we have market shares, we have Sony really taking the lead in Crunchyroll productions. Obviously, Chainsaw Man just came out. People are enjoying it. Demon Slayer hit earlier. Channing Tatum was a voice actor for Demon Slayer. It's completely in another echelon, I would say. If Crunchyroll did the whole like digital distribution thingy, we're at an age where the theatrical releases and everything being kind of organized by Sony is really pushing this new narrative of, oh, these anime movies are where all the rage is at right now, because they got all the money, they got all the budget, and that's the big one right there. We're making profit, question mark? Not just profit, but are we paying people? At the end of the day, my biggest gripe is gonna be the crunch culture, how that affects people, and how, like, if this is supposed to be like, if anime is so big and everybody loves it and it's making like business is booming and everything is great, then why aren't we like inspired to support our people, our animators, you know, our people, boots on the ground, who are actually like out there putting like 3D animation on Chainsaw Man? That's awesome. And obviously, I don't know how every company operates. I don't know what their dividends are. I don't know what their interests or where their focuses are. But you look at these graphs, man. You look at these graphs, and you can tell that yes, it's doing well, or at least even if it's not doing well, it is doing well. But if it's not doing well financially, let's just say it's something like that. The fact that the whole world has adapted to this medium is nothing to sneeze at, man. And I almost feel like you should be putting more effort into how you're presenting yourself, knowing that there is like a bigger audience there, right? Some people might say something like diversity, right? That's kind of the whole quote unquote shtick of what their whole video game things that they want to make people feel included. But then that becomes like you're shoving things that aren't necessarily part of the story, that wasn't meant to be part of the story. And I believe that Japan, since they're like a very Japan first country, and the way they live and their values and all that, is still like protected from that type of negativity. I'll just say negativity. There's good people, there's salty people in the universe, that's the way it is, but specifically the negativity that comes from really like hounding about, oh no, you need to make this here because then I won't be happy because blah blah blah. It's like whoa. Come on, man. So at the end of the day, I just want to believe that the people who are actually doing the work, right, are happy about the work they're doing. That's kind of where we're at. So we'll see. Hopefully, I believe. But future is future. Future's gonna future. I'm gonna take 2 seconds to see if I can restart the face, the model. I think something happened when we did stuff, but yeah, give me. Head on. Head on. Hijo de verga, fucking sit down. Fuck. So much worse. It needs to be changed. Oh shit. All right. Well. There you go. Immersion. Alright, moving on. Everybody life? Arc Raiders is already one of the biggest traction shooters ever on Steam. Whatever that means. Concurrent peaks at 20. Holy fuck. 6 off the platform by Vicky Blake. Fucking Christ, man. It's been only out for today, but it's only been suppressed in Steam current players for 2,000, 20,000, 20,000, 200,000. Given Arc Raiders ended its racing server slam, blah blah blah. Counter-Strike 2, blah blah blah. Meaning more people played Arc Raiders, blah blah blah. Okay. True, number of people our creator still has portion of character seems count, so launch PlayStation 5, Xbox Series needs Sony, and Microsoft to make public numbers public is also force bearing that our creators launch midweek, so expectation of players number grow as same head to its first weekend. For now, we can say it's launch truly impressive Steam, where our creators has a very positive review, over 8,080 reviews. Interesting to see how our creators fares when perhaps one of his biggest competitors, Escape from Tarkov, debuts on Steam next month. Really? Another key competitor would be Marathon. Now it isn't. Our creators designed director previously said it was fortuitous timing to have Bungie's tracking shooter launch a playtest around the same time as its own, calling it a, quote, a great A-B test for us. Earlier this week, Embark insisted it wasn't worried about Arc Raiders coming out between Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty 7, insisting, quote, we believe the game can launch there. Damn. I know the insanity, quote, CEO Patrick Suderland told the game business, quote, people look at the Arc Raiders release date and say, what the hell were they thinking? And spent a lot of time looking at it from multiple angles, you know, for right or wrong. We believe the game can launch there. That is the start of a long journey. It needs to start somewhere. End quote. Okay, that was a take. I was mostly looking forward to seeing like comparison numbers, which was not available here. So, Vicky, I don't know what the fuck we're even talking about right now, but all right. But the easiest thing to say is that yes, a current player count of 200,000, which I think is out of date at this point. But okay. You know how we're all complaining about PlayStation and our live service games, and like, I say we because like, you know, I didn't care, but I actually no, I did care because again, they're using resources, money. There's some dumbass CEO out there is going like, oh, you see Fortnite, we need a Fortnite, and then yes, so they fucking funnel in millions of dollars into a game that gets deleted in like, what was it, like less than a week, like in 7 days or 4 to 5 days. Yeah, that bothers me. Does it bother me because it exists? Not necessarily. It bothers me because there's a dumbass out there who just really did not give a fuck, and they just wanted to make some profit, and they lost money in the process. So you tell me who deserves to get paid. But then there's something like this that pops in. People look at it, they're curious, they're excited, and it becomes a hit, right? I'm not sure how much this costs. Again, this Vicky Blake person really needs to fucking put in some work because there's a reason this is selling, right? What is the reason? Is it a smaller price point? Is it have actually good gameplay? Is the skins like something that is super appealing? Is it like the actual style of the game itself, the art direction? There's so much things that you can learn from this one moment, specifically from the point of Sony fucking up, Microsoft fucking up, everybody and the grandmothers out there trying to make a quick buck, right? But something like this slips through the cracks and is like hyped up by the people. That's what you need to be reporting. Vicky, thank you. You have fun out there. Take care. But no, it's not fun for people. DC fans in general. November 1st will be a really sad day for Superman fans. Hey, that was yesterday. Shit, sorry guys. This is by John Dodge. Damn. Superman, and DC comic fans are about to lose more than half a dozen of the best animated superhero movies on one of the biggest streaming platforms. October 31st marks the final day that fans will be able to stream 8th of the biggest superhero films from the DC catalog on HBO Max. As of November 1st, Batman Superman, Battle of the Super Sons, Superman Batman, Public Enemies, Superman Man of Tomorrow, Superman Red Sun, Superman Unbound, The Death of Superman, and The Reign of Superman will all be leaving the platform, as will the live-action Shazam starring. Oh my god! Oh, that is such a call out. Oh my gosh! As well. Sorry, Zachary Leva. I don't know, man. I hope he's alright. He's a good dude. The oldest of the films on the list, Superman Batman Public Enemies, was released back in 2009. Boom. Sixth overall in ongoing DC Universe animated original movie. The line, the film adaptation Public Enemies comic book storyline, proved to be a major hit with fans. The success of Superman Public Enemies and similar animated adventures pushed DC to develop and produce their further entries in the Duo-So-Com, which now stands over 60 feature-length animation films in total. Not to mention over a DC Showcase animators animations, and other smaller productions. The latest DC UAOM release, Aztec Batman, let's go! Clash of the Empires, was released in September to largely rave reviews from both critics and audiences. The film follows a young warrior, Yohali Quatli. Okay, let me actually try this because this is Aztecian. Yohali Quatli. Yohali Quatli. Something like that. Who dons the appearance, I'm serious by the way, appearance of an ancient bat god in order to fight back against both invading conquistadors and a twisted priest known as Yoka, who heeds the call of Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli, something like that, and embarks upon a great quest to provide a deity with mass human sacrifices. Oof. At the time of the writing, Aztec Batman Clash of Empires holds a 74 approval rating via review aggregator or Rotten Tomatoes, user-generated popcorn meter, further cementing the success of not just the latest film in the line, but the DCUAOM as a whole. Woo! So what's next for the DC animated films? Let's see. It was announced that the next DC film on the list is nothing less than an animated adaptation of one of the greatest DC comic stories of all time, Batman Nightfall. It's set to be released across multiple parts. First entry of DC UAOM's Batman Nightfall is set to arrive in sometime in 2026, and we'll see Bane emerge in Gotham City to not just threaten everything the Dark Knight has built, but the very life of Batman himself. The official logline for Batman Nightfall Part 1, Nightfall reads, when a mysterious behemoth known only as Bane frees Batman's entire rogues gallery from Arkham Asylum, well, the Crate Crusader is pushed to his mental and physical breaking point. The film is being directed by Jeff Warmester and written by Jeremy Adams, while Rick Morales, Jim Craig, Kimberly S. Morel, and Sam Register and Michel Uslan serve as producers and executive producers on the project. Batman Nightfall, okay. So, interesting. Quick note, I'm not sure what's happening, but I think Warner Brothers just recently sold out to Netflix or HBO, or whether Netflix just picked up all these Superman things. Second thing to note, it's pretty much all Superman, right? Superman, Batman and Superman, but Superman, and Shazam. So maybe Netflix goes, oh, we want the Superman hype, and they buy all these out, and now they play on Netflix, and then HBO fans go, well, what the hell? What was that? That this was the home of DC, man. And that's why streaming sucks. Especially in this generation, now that all these fucking companies have like their subscriptions, and they're like, yes, they're always insensitive to sell more subscriptions, but honestly, they're kind of already maxed out, right? Anybody who wants Netflix, low-key probably has Netflix. Anyone who really fucking wanted HBO probably has an HBO. I wish I could have one, but I don't want it that bad. So to see that, if ever I did want that HBO, though, I know it would have to be for DC. And to now understand that a couple of these DC, sure, albeit animations, but they're actually really good, are no longer there. And it goes back to the original complaint of, yeah, digital streaming is not a great solution to, like your fandom. Because any day, anytime, whenever they feel like it, they can just pull the plug, they can just write a new contract, and that won't be there anymore. Just like this. So, is this signs for the future? Is this showing what their plans are now that people have actual memberships? Maybe they're giving up on stuff like that? I'm not too sure. I honestly wouldn't put it past them, but just buy physical. At the end of the day, my bottom rule is that if you love something, you need to hold it physically. So, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And then you can let it go if you want patience. Anyways, relationships are hard, They're a little complicated. That's the whole point. But you know what else is complicated? Relationships with a drug dealer. Damn it. GTA 6 denies union busting after firing dozens of developers. Rockstar Games sister fired for gross misconduct. Nande? Isn't gross misconduct the whole point of Grand Theft Auto? Somebody fucking make this make sense. What the... This is by Ethan Gatch over at Kotaku. A British trade union group is accusing Rockstar Games of union busting after reportedly fired over 30 employees across their offices in UK and Canada. The GTA 6 maker denies its charges, however, claiming the people were terminated for gross misconduct. Rockstar, quote, Rockstar has just carried out one of the most blatant and ruthless acts of union busting in the history of the games industry, end quote. Independent Workers Union of Great Britain President Alex Marshall said in a statement, first reported by Bloomberg, quote, this flagrant contempt of law and for the lives of the workers who bring in the billions is an insult to their fans and global industry, end quote. But Rockstar parent company Take-Two claims that that's not the case. Quote, we strive to make the world's best entertainment properties by giving our best in-class and creative teams positive work environments and ongoing creative opportunities. A spokesperson for the company said in an email to Kotaku, quote, our culture is focused on teamwork, excellence, and kindness. Rockstar Games terminates a small number of individuals for gross misconduct and for no other reason. As always, we fully support Rockstar's ambition and approach. You know what? They probably really slapped some racist ass shit on that, and they got fired. But let's keep on reading because it really depends on how big of a firing this was. According to the marshal, of the scale of the people that got laid off. According to the marshal, the only people fired from Rockstar were all members of a private trade union chat group on Discord who either had signed up for IGWB membership or were thinking about doing so. While the studio is made up of 1,000 employees and headquarters in New York, the biggest office in Rockstar North located in Inchburg, Scotland. Best known for Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption franchises, the studio is currently working to ship GTA 6 after its 2026 launch was delayed earlier this year. It's now set to arrive in May 2020. Oh god, that's close. While Rockstar Games had a notorious history of crunching during development, the company has reportedly made big strides in recent years in improving its work culture. Controversial return to office policy, however, showed there were still tensions between developers and management at the studio. Don't carry on, we'll carry on. It's okay. Alright, well, gross misconduct, essentially they were doing secret trading or something like that. And that's illegal when you actually have like a say in the stakes of the company. You can't just, it's illegal, whatever. People do it, but it's still illegal. So if that's what they were fired for, interesting. Obviously way better than what my brain was thinking, that they did some racist ass shit and they developed it and they put it in the game and somebody looked at their shoulder and was like, what the fuck is this? And they just told them to leave. So there's still hope for humanity yet, damn it. So there's that. Cool. I might have to look into this one later. But yeah, GTA is coming up very close. That's the shitty part too, because you can definitely make a case for them being like, oh well, we're pretty much done with the game. All right, guys, time to go home. and yeah, that'd be really effed up. But you could definitely make a case for companies that like would do something that, maximum profits. Ooh. And that's what I mean, man. You guys just can't let it go that far. Show some humanity, damn it. No less. This is for you, little one. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anyway the wind blows, doesn't really matter to me. Mama. Alright, moving on. I just wanted to say that part. But I got against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun in high school because Crunchyroll streams First Love Live Nijisaki High School Idol Club movie, the movie finale anime. What? This is by Crystal Hodgkins over at IGN. Suka. Mama. Crunchyroll began streaming the first time Love Live Nijisaki Trilogy on Thursday under the title All This Bullshit. The movie finale, Chapter 1. Film trilogy is set after 2 previous television series and the bullshit original video anime project. The main cast and characters return to. I know people really like this series, so it's all good. Don't worry, I care about you. The anime takes place after Isla, really? Returns. That means island. Returns to the home country. The club receives an invitation to the school idol GPX contest. Contestants compete individually instead of by school. Oh, compete through performances distributed via app. 6 members from the club: Ayumi, Kasumi, Shizuku, Kanata, Emma, and Lanzu go to Okinawa to compete. While many of them experience new encounters, Ayumu, who however has complex feelings about competing against her fellow club members. The first film in trilogy opened in September 2024. Wow. Trilogy serves as finale for the anime story. Second film will open in Japan on November 7th. In the film, Karen, Ai, Setsuna, Rina, Shokero, and Mina will go on a trip to the cities of Kyoto, Osaka, and Kobe in Japan's Kansai region. Wow. The first season of the main Love Live Nijisaki High School Idol Club anime premiered in Tokyo Mix channel as well as the Bandai channel, Love Live, and YouTube's live streaming services as October 2020. The second season premiered in April 2023. Crunchyroll streamed the anime as it aired in Japan and later streamed it in English dub. Nyon Animation, short television anime of Miyokoto's 4-panel spin-off, Nyon Love Live. All that has second season debuted in April 4th. Franchise staff introduced the members of the Nijisaki Academy's Idol Appreciation Club in 2017 as part of the K-Labs Games and Bushiroad's Love Live School Idol Festival Smart Games Perfect Dream Project. Love Live School Idol franchise launched in 2010 and has since spawned the Love Live Sunshine, Love Live Nijisaki High School Club Idol Club, Love Live Superstar, Love Live Hasu no Sora Jogan School Idol Club, and most recently, Ikuzu Live, Love Live, Bluebird Project spinoffs. Okay. All right. Not that I care, quote unquote, I do, but this is a pretty big thing. Is it Demon Slayer big? Probably not. Chainsaw Man big? Meh, sort of. But there is a actually big fan base who really like the idol, genre. And in my brain, you imagine all the otakus or the guys in front of the row with their light sticks going all crazy and potato because they're having a good time, and that's great. But honestly, I was at a place where they were hosting like a specific Love Live concert thing that was like at 3 a.m. in the morning, and you look in the room and it was all chicks. Like, yeah, there are dudes in there, but like it was all chicks. So there is a huge appreciation from this that comes from obviously a different side of the equation, not male basically. And to see them keep on going forward with the whole anime movie shtick is interesting, right? Again, we're getting more and more used to the idea that anime as a movie outsells anime on a television screen, which... Okay, so I guess my question for all the Love Live fans out there would be, do we feel that these movies do more than the week-to-week episodes? And that could be any scale value. Like, that could be whether the actual animation looks better because it's a movie budget, whether the scores, the music, the dance moves, the CGI, like, does it even fit? Does it feel like a slice of life idol show fits in a maximum of 2 hours time span? Or does it feel like the journey to the event is the series, and that's why the series flows the way it does? Because again, if they're set on making movie trilogies for fucking Love Live, then everything is up for grabs when it comes to, instead of anime episodes, we're going to go with the movies instead. And again, that could be kind of weird in the future. I'm not saying it has to be bad, but it just could be a little different. Is this the... Chill out, dog. Yeah. So, yeah, this is our final warning. Any anime that you think like that could again like that needs a series, go right out to the creator. Be like, nope, series. I need to buy this on the. I need to buy the collection rather than just buying a single DVD or Blu-ray movie DVD. So, interesting stuff. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it all stems out to. In the back of my brain, understanding this makes me understand that it's gonna be weirder to collect anime now. Because instead of collecting anime series and being like, look at my anime collection, it's anime movies. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. At least for me, that's weird. Not saying it's bad. It's just different. We'll see what happens in the future. But you notice this in the future. Perfect holiday musical. Let's go, Mariah Carey. What? With 95%, RT is coming back with a brand new story. That's a very obtuse way to say that The Nightmare Before Christmas is getting a spin-off. This is by John Drudge, but I respect it, John. The World of Nightmare Before Christmas is coming back with another graphic novel from Dynamite Entertainment. Per a press release from Dynamite Entertainment, critically acclaimed writer Torrin Gornbeck is officially behind the wheel of the next entry of the most beloved franchise of all time, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Shiver of Christmas Town. Written by Gornbeck and featuring in art by Edu Minna. Colors by Adriano Augusto and letters by Taylor Esposito. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, The Sliver of Christmas Town is set to mark the next grand misadventure to be Fall Halloween Town. Let's go. Is that a teddy bear? Yeah, it was. Hey, he knows. All right. All right. Got some art styles here. There you go. The story of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, The Silver Crown, is set to unfold after Dr. Frankenstein, the diminutive creator, unveils his latest masterpiece. Unfortunately, Sally is the one tasked with looking after a strange known being as Shiver. Even worse, Dr. Frankenstein's creation quickly becomes a target of Lock, Shock, and Barrel, the three cantankerous trick-or-treaters behind Santa Claus's kidnapping, who are intent on bringing their latest quarry along with them on their trek to Christmas Town. Yeah, because he's a polar bear. He lives there. Quote, Nightmare Before Christmas is a feast imagination of dark delights and has been a joy to play and contribute to this world, writer Torrin Gornbeck said in his project. Quote, in our story, little goes to plan, okay? Tricks are played, treats are had, and along the way, Dr. Frankenstein's new creation Shiver discovers the true magic of Halloween. Artist Editor Mena captures the gothic, whimsical atmosphere of the movie so beautifully, and I hope the book will introduce a new generation of readers to the enchanting world of Nightmare Before Christmas. Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, The Shiver of Christmas Town is just a late follow-up to his 1993 stop-motion animation film from Dynamite Comics. Back in June, Dynamite Entertainment published Tim Burton's Christmas Long Live the Pumpkin Queen graphic novel, which itself was based on Sher Ern's 2022's New York Times bestseller, written by Liz Marshall and illustrated by Alyssa Patijo and Esmael Canales. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas Long Live the Pumpkin Queen graphic novel finds Sally setting into her new role as the Pumpkin Queen of the Halloween Town following the events of the film. Sally struggles to find exactly where she fits thanks to her newfound position. Zero unwillingly leads Sally on a journey into the depths of Dreamtown, which is just as horrifying as it is fantastical. Wow. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, Shiver Christmas goes on sale January 2026. Hell yeah, that's my birthday. I'm gonna be 30. Fuck. So, we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about how, like, the Sally was gonna get, like, a whole story from a graphic novel. Apparently, they wrote a novel without the graphicness. And now we're going straight into graphic novels, which is interesting, right? Because, yeah, if you think about it, where's this guy at? 1993. Holy shit, that's my brother's birthday year. My bad. That's why I'm an old fart, because I'm actually a 1993 person and born in 1996. But yeah, so that's about 33 right there. So 33 years after his stop-motion animation creation masterpiece was released into the universe, people still wanted to spend time with the characters. And now we're getting this brand new lineage of after stories, which is kind of cool. Honestly, it reminds me of Scott Pilgrim. I know, right? Scott Pilgrim, he doesn't shut up about it. But it's the idea about how Brian Lee O'Malley wrote his story. Then before the story was finished, they made a movie, which then inspired him even more after he finished the series to be like, well, what if we go back and actually do these couple things with these characters now? Because I have like an image of what these characters are through the movie, through the comics, through this. And essentially the medium or the topic, the content itself becomes so like beautifully built upon that people are eager to write more for it. And just things kind of like fit naturally. Or you go Brian Lee O'Malley and you kind of like retcon things, but you almost bring things even better. You make things even better by like acknowledging your past flaws and like improving on them, finding ways to be better, or finding ways to like make them make sense. And yeah, we've seen a couple of things again like that. I'm thinking about Brian Lee O'Malley, and I'm thinking about Night Before Christmas, obviously right now. And yeah, we'll see what this means for the actual series in terms of if we'll ever get like a second film or anything like that. I honestly, I think we can, as long as we keep on getting stories, we'll have more people being interested in revisiting the movie. And that might be interesting, honestly. So, I love Nightmare for Christmas, just in general. Took me a while to get there, but I really do. So, but that's not the one thing that's real. Let me tell you about the real piece. One Piece Anime reduced its annual production schedule to 26 episodes starting in April 26, following 3-month break. Toei Animation and One Piece anime producer Ryota Koike announced during a One Piece news livestreaming on Tuesday that the anime will reduce its annual episode output to a maximum of 26 episodes moving forward, starting in 2026 following the conclusion of the Egghead arc this year. The anime will take a 3-month production hiatus from January-March 2026. The anime will return in April 26 for the first 2 quarters of the year, and with the start of the new Epac arc. The stream unveiled for visual of the arc. Nice. According to Toei Animations, the new schedule will allow episodes to incorporate more content, tempo, and pacing of the manga, while continuing to leverage the unique storytelling that is only possible with animation. Historically, with only few exceptions, the anime has aired most weeks since its premiere in 1999. However, the pace has slowed considerably over the years, such that a single anime episode adapts about a single manga chapter on average. Shit. The Egghead arc in the anime debuted in January 24 in mid-October. The franchise announced that the anime's Egghead arc would pause to, quote, recharge, and then the arc would continue in April 2025. Part 2 of the Egghead arc premiered with the first episode, 1,123 overall episode, nice, on Fujita TV April 5th and aired alongside recap episodes Part 1 of the Egghead arc, second episode, 1. During the Egghead arc's break, One Piece Log Fishman Island, 20-episode abridged version of the Fish Island arc of the anime with reshot scenes, retouched art, and more improvements aired its plates. Ongoing anime adaptation of Ichiro's Oda's One Piece manga premiered in 1999. Dope. For you kneeling like a stone, away for you there alone. No, yeah, there's 2 lines. Alone. Okay. One Piece. Is it real? No. This is interesting. Because what obviously they need more time. No duh, right? They want to make it look nice. They want to do their best with what they have. The series itself, I believe, has caught up to the manga, I think. So that's also another factor. And yeah, it almost feels like somewhere along the line, One Piece was left behind by the big 3, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Bleach, or whatever the third one was. and they both finished, or Naruto, my bad. It was Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Bleach, or whatever, and One Piece. And since those two series finished, or they had a break, or they ended their series, One Piece kept on going, and they kept on doing their thing, and people love One Piece. But I also feel like somewhere along the line, the other animes like My Hero Academia, anything else that's kind of like more Jujutsu Kaisen, more quote unquote modern age, I almost feel like they insulted One Piece in the way that was like, look at all this new animation, damn. And then you go to One Piece and it's like, oh, you guys still going over there? So I can kind of imagine them being like, you know what, dog? Nah, we're gonna do this right. We want this thing to slap. We're gonna put some effort into this, and we're gonna take our break. We're gonna take the time that we need, and especially since we're getting to the end game, right? The Avengers end game of everything, that we want everything to look fresh. So let me tell you something real quick. I'm kind of excited. Yeah. I do not watch One Piece. I know about like the arcs because of the internet. But if you're telling me that like there's like this is it, and we're almost gonna have like a revamp of like the series itself, that's why I've been waiting for the One Piece remake anime, which I'm lovingly referring to as the real piece. But if we're doing this with this as well, and like kind of like maybe upping the animation game, the quality and all that, yeah, I might have to start watching now. Which would be really stupid because I'd be jumping on board like in the final arcs. So I deal with it. Maybe I'll figure it out. But yeah, man, any One Piece fans out there, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. But at the same time, they say the best things come to those who wait. So that's why I'm single. Moving on to a guy who's definitely not single right now. Singled out to a guy who's been singled out. Sheesh. Guy who streamed pirated Switch games and told Nintendo, quote, capitalism is cancer, was now paid $17,500. Shit. That's pretty impressive. This is by Ethan Gotch over at Karaoke. Jesse Kingley faced over $1 million potential damages when Nintendo sued him for streaming allegedly pirated copies of its games ahead of the schedule or of their official release. When the company initially issued copyright strikes against the channel, he reportedly responded by trolling the Nintendo maker and sharing ways to pirate its games. Kane has now lost that lawsuit and owes Nintendo $17,500. Shit, that's like one motorcycle. It's like half a motorcycle. The courts issued an injunction preventing the defendant from infringing Nintendo's copyrighted works, included by streaming from trafficking in Switch emulators, Nintendo's proprietary card graphic keys, and or the software or technologies that circumvent Nintendo's technological predictive means. U.S. District Judge Cordon P. wrote in an order that issued earlier this week via Torrent Freak. Damn. The only thing the judge didn't grant Nintendo was its request to confiscate and destroy any tools Kane had used to pirate Switch games. Damn. Governor called out the demand too unclear and unreasonable, given the lack of evidence presented in the lawsuits as to how exactly Kane had gained access to games like Mario & Luigi Brothership to stream ahead of releases last fall. Huh. Think I'm your... talk to me like you talked to him, love. You should have done more research on me. You might run a corporation. I run the street. What? No, dude, no. Chill out. Well, I guess this is some... Technically, it is a black market. Technically. But what most resembles how defiant Kingley remained throughout the entire case. Quote, love y'all, capitalism cancer. Quote, my channel is being deleted for sharing gameplay videos. This is your reward. He posted on social media when he first caught the attention of Nintendo's legal department. Even after the lawsuit was filed, and he continued to troll the company despite not mounting a legal defense of his own. Shit. In one of the court's filings, the company alleged, quote, filing in November 2024, after Nintendo's outside the console and emailed Mr. Kingley the summons and complaint requesting he waive service and attached the waiver form. He posted on Facebook threatening her, quote, think I'm your husband? Talk to me like you talk to him. I'll... Yeah. That. The next day he posted, seemingly acknowledging his evasion of services. Quote, should have done more research on me. You might run the corporation. I run the street. But Killing did not run the courts, and his provocations now come with a hefty price tag attached. Nintendo has been on the warpath against anyone publicly promoting anything that could remotely promote piracy of its games, including makers of popular Switch titles like Yuzu. Software lets fans run copies of games, including ones they have purchased, higher-end PC hardware, or alternative devices like the Steam Deck. The aggressive crackdown came amid the launch of the users of Switch 2, which for the time being appears to remain piracy-free. We'll see how long Nintendo's legal threats can keep that this way this time. He did nothing wrong. He did a couple things wrong, but I believe that the way they reacted was definitely not the best way to circumvent a situation, a pickle jam, if you will. But I don't know, man. Nintendo really just needs to tone it down. Let's just leave it at that for now. Nintendo and its investors looking at you. But let's talk about another investment. Woo! Warner Brothers New Line Cinema's Hello Kitty films open on July 21st, 2028. Film will have other Sanrio characters besides Hello Kitty. Warner Brothers by Rafael Antonio Pineda. Yeah, the homie. the best story from the best the poster, best writer, reporter. Okay. Warner Bros. Announced on Wednesday that its planned live-action animation hybrid film Sanrio's Hello Kitty character will open worldwide on July 21st, 2018. Hello, world. What? Oh, that's cute. They got me. They got me. At first, I was like, who is this humanoid figure? And I was like, oh, it has a bow. One more. It's kind of cute now. There you go. All right. So that's a kitty. So actually, if you want to get analytical like my ass, you got stripes. You got a Super Mario overalls. You got this yellow pointy nose. It's black, but it has a yellow outline. It looks like these have highlights of yellow as well. So that's how you're going to make this character design a little more updated. Instead of yellow on yellow, it's going to be red, yellow. Honestly, she looks like Luna from the Big Comfy Couch, which don't tell anybody. Never mind. I was young, okay? That was it. She was the coolest person I knew, okay? And she had a cool little friend. I like the little puppet she hung out with. All right. Sanrio, New Line Cinema, and Warner Bros. Pictures Animations are producing the film, which also have all other Sanrio characters besides Hello Kitty. At the time of the film production announcement in 2019, the New Line Cinema and Flynn Picture Company were reportedly handling production and development in film, with Flynn Picture Company's Bill Flynn credited as producer and Wendy Jacobson credited as executive producer. When the film's hybrid live-action animation format was revealed in 2021, The Hollywood Reporter listed animators Jennifer Koyo and Leo Matsuda as directors, with Lindsay Beer as a scriptwriter for the film. Oh, I have one beer left. And the company known as Universe, which Beer co-founded, as Phil was also listed as executive producer. The 52-episode Hello Kitty Superstyle 3D animated series debuted in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and Japan on Amazon Kids Plus. In December 2022, the series then debuted in Germany in 2023. ABC Frontier distributed the series in Asia. French companies Watch Next Media and Monello Productions produced the series with Italian animation studios Maga. My brain just fried. Animation. Sentai Film was released the Hello Kitty and Friends Let's Learn Together animated series for its time in Sentai Kids imprint 2018. Moonbug Entertainment partnered with Sanrio in June earlier this year to announce that they are producing a crossover series featuring characters from Co-Chameleon, and Sanrio features Okoko Melon, such as Hello Kitty and Cinnamon Roll. Oh, okay, there you go. Moonbug will distribute the series globally in 2026. Oh yeah, that's a series. So that's another TV show. And then they're making a movie. Well, I don't know. What do we think? Is this like a decent design? I don't know if people really cared about the yellowness, but again, I'm just calling it out. She looks like Super Mario and Luna from Big Comfy Couch, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, she points to the bow and she points to the water tower. Very nice. So there's your reveal, big reveal of the day. I know any Hello Kitty fans out there? Well, get ready to say hello. Unless no one is taking the books away. No one is taking the video games away. The Witcher showrunner responds to backlash to the Netflix show. Unless people don't like it. This is by Yesli Yinpo. The Witcher Season 4 over on IGN is upon us, and as fans know, the series has strayed away from what the books upon which it was based, which has sparked a backlash among some fans. Showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich, however, has defended the approach taken for the Netflix show, which replaced Henry Cavill with Liam Hemsworth, following the former Superman's actor exit at the end of Season 3. In an interview with Dextero, Schmidt-Hissrich insisted that the Netflix show exists in addition to the books and CD Projekt's much-loved video games, which still exists for fans to enjoy. Okay. Quote, "You have book fans, you have video game fans, and then you have the fan that knew nothing about the world until the show existed," she said. Oh, it's a girl. "And the truth is we can't feel the night." Sorry, I'm done. And we have to remember what we're doing. We have to remember what we're doing, which is a television show. What the fuck does that even mean? Shut the fuck up, man. Just write a good narrative. The biggest combining thing is the narrative, the gameplay, maybe here is visuals, but you gotta have some good fucking narrative. And from what I've been hearing, you guys are being stupid. But anyways. Quote, "It's different than a genre in any other form that you could tell the story. And we have to make the choices for that. And we have 8 hours for every season to tell these stories. And we're never going to be able to tell everything from the books." Quote, "I also think that there has to be some changes that you have to make for adaptation just to see for the story to keep going forward. Season 1's a perfect example. Obviously, we learned the 2 books of short stories, but you can't just unlikely adventure in a series of television." Okay. Again, that just sounds like you don't know how to fucking write shit, but alright. Quote, "You have to start weaving them together. You have to start So we started crafting at the point. It was connective tissue." Quote, "We also have the privilege of knowing when we were ending. Netflix picked up Season 4 and Season 5 at the same time, so we also had to write ourselves into a particular ending. So again, you make choices." Quote, "One of the things that I've talked about the author, about that a lot of fans, is that the book still exists. No one's taking the books away. No one's taking the video games away. I think everyone can have their version of The Witcher and the version." Okay. It also sounds like Schmidt-Hissrich will be stepping back from The Witcher after Season 5. Done and dusted. Also speaking to Dextero, she insisted the show would not move past Andrzej Splodge's books, so Season 5 really is it. Quote, "By the time we wrap Season 5 fully, it will have been 9 years of my life," Schmidt said. "To think there are so many more stories to be told in The Witcher version, truly, I think also, but you have to step back and accept gratefully what it is at the ending of the story that we've been telling." Quote, "Are there more stories? Maybe. But this one has to end at this point. So I think it's a nice time for all of us to step back a little bit." End quote. IGN's The Witcher Season 4 review returned 7 out of 10. We said, even with Cavill Hemsworth's shakeup, The Witcher sticks to its guns or swords and delivers a decent season with magic and mayhem. Oh. Also, this is the final one. Oh, man. Anyways, at the end of the day, this sounds like a job. And, you know, you could say what you want about it. A job's a job. Is that Morpheus? Oh, shit, it is. Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, fuck. Okay. But, like, if people like it, it's fine. You know, again, it's nothing off my back. I don't watch One Piece, so I don't necessarily be like, oh, I can't believe this is how they portrayed Frankie in the comics or in the anime or in the Netflix show. But if people like it, it's whatever's. But again, the idea that something exists out of a, you know, like a very inspired mind, and people look at that and go, oof, we can make money off of this, but then take it for their own, like, quote values or agendas or whatever you may want to call it, right? And start shoving stuff into it that's like, yo, this isn't what I read. This isn't the story? Or like what is this shit? I thought we were watching The Witcher. And yeah, man, it just feels like a really shitty diss to like to not respect the source material. You know what I mean? Because like if you make a live action anime film and you fucking give Goku stupid ass hair, people are gonna be talking about that movie for years to come. You know? So yeah, it's a little stupid because again, you can just feel, you can just tell. Okay, you can just tell, man. Here. Yeah, you could just tell that it's just the job to that chick, and that fucking sucks because I remember Chris not this fucker. What's his name? Fucking shit. Superman, whatever his name was. Henry Cavill. I remember Henry Cavill popping up into the scene and being like, yeah, we're gonna do The Witcher. And he was so excited about it. Like, for those not in the know, Henry Cavill is a Warhammer nerd. He is fucking nerdy as fuck. He built his own PC. I built my own PC too. But like, the man had a passion for this shit. And they kicked his ass out the door. You know what I mean? All because he really wanted to be like, whoa, come on. But like in the story, they wouldn't do this because they're these people. And it's like, oh, all right, well then fuck you guys, I'm out. And then you get your fucking sellout, fucking, you know, no hate for Hemsworth, whatever, he is who he is. But Mr. fucking Hemsworth sellout being like, oh, you want money? Here, take money. And it's like, okay, well, fuck, all right. Like, again, I don't care. I don't think I'll ever sit down and watch The Witcher. I've never sat down and played the game. I've tried Witcher 3 and I got bored for some reason. But it just bothers me that someone can spend their life writing a masterpiece or something that means like dear to them, that then generates a generation of love from fans, which inspires them to create, which inspires them to respect the author's intentions, all to come down to this point and being like, but money, if we change this, money. And it's like, no, you guys are fucking shit. Like, no, just fuck you guys. And that is what it is, you know? So it's just like, it just bothers me because I feel that something like, I don't know, like a live adaptation of Sword Art Online can be like bastardized by Netflix. And then I'd have to sit there and be like, are you fucking kidding me? We had one fucking shot at this to not be shit, and you guys fucking fucked it up. God fucking damn it. Thank you for kicking me off YouTube. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with that one. It's just not cool, man. Write your own damn fucking story if you want to write your own story. Don't take someone's hard ass work, slap their fucking title on your shitty ass revamp. That's all I'm saying. Or if you're gonna do that, then you get a fucking statement from the author being like, listen, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm okay with these changes, which will destroy the fan base, but at least they don't have anything to complain about. You know what I mean? So hey, let me know what you think. I know I get really salty about these things, but it has to be called out, man. Because you can't just keep on fucking pretending that like someone meant something to happen, and then some dumbass fucking picks it up and goes like, no, he meant to say this instead. It's like, motherfucker, he's not even here to defend himself. But yeah, moving on. Because you know who else is there to defend themselves? Defend us, man. Stellar Blade Dave's weigh in on controversy about mocking small penises. What? The crab hand conspiracy has become quite popular online in South Korea among men. This is by Zach Swain over at Kotaku. I see you too are a man of culture. you're also a man of culture. South Korea game studio Shift Up recently posted a developer interview video to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of its RPG Goddess Victory Nikkei. And as reported by Automation Media, this is game. During this video, the studio's director Hung Suk-yo took a hard stance against, quote, hateful expressions in the popular RPG, saying, quote, we will never tolerate anyone intentionally inserting hate speech into Nikkei or approaching the game with that mindset. However, the devs don't directly mention what this is referring to in the video. It's very likely an attempt to address the controversial situation involving a piece of art created for Nikkei, and an odd conspiracy online involving a pinched hand gesture that many men in South Korea believe mocks men with small penises. In addition to... I'm sorry. Look, man, if you're getting tickled, then maybe you just need some time to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I find it hilarious, but okay, let's find out. In August, to celebrate the game's 100th day in operation, a piece of artwork was released. Some South Korean men online alleged that 2 characters in the artwork were clearly flashing the pinched fingers gesture. Shift Up quickly apologized, edited the images to remove the gestures, and blamed the whole incident on an overseas team responsible for the art. Oh shit, then they might be right then. But that hasn't stopped many online players from continuing to harass devs and leave angry comments. So the recent commitment against the hateful expression is seen by many as the studio's latest attempt to calm things down. It's unlikely this will work though, as the, quote, crab hand gesture has become a widely embraced conspiracy theory among many men in South Korea who believe it is to be connected to a feminist movement in the country that some believe went too far. As a result of the situation, many companies have faced backlash for artwork or ads that seem to include crab hands, even when it seems obvious that the art wasn't intended to mock anyone or the hands are only vaguely pinched. And that's where we get down to it. Any kids in the room, please step outside. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we're looking at it. The original pinching is like these little thingies right here, right? And then this right here, yeah, sure, okay. Listen, man, I've been around this universe long enough. I know what to look for when I'm looking for it. So the question is, why is this an issue, right? Because there's many avenues we can take down this path. One being, for some reason, the universe has made it a stigma about penis sizes. And maybe that's more of a men versus men thing, but the idea that the females have kind of like pushed forward this sort of acknowledgement doesn't make things easier. All right, not here to say that it excuses you from being offended for any minuscule thing. At the end of the day, if you're feeling something, that's coming from you, my dude, and you gotta look at yourself before you break yourself. But at the same point, number 2, there is a movement, right? We've seen it in America. We've seen Disney be a little bitch, and we are seeing how those interactions have really changed relationships between men and women. So let's just go ahead and say that already from the beginning, there is not a sense of camaraderie between men and females. Now we're referring to South Korea. I have no idea what the relationship status is down there. I do, however, know that it is a big issue that a lot of Korean males are being looked over by their own Korean females. So again, more of a sense of discomfort, right? Okay, now for some scientific evidence. Studies show that average sizes are about like 5 to 6. And if you want to get even more serious about it, an average vagina size is about 6. They expand, yes, but like you're not going for a fucking foot long subway. So the whole idea of this like, oh, small penis, is really stupid. Yes, you know, like to each their own. I don't know. Anybody can live with whatever. I personally have never had an issue, and I don't believe that many people have an issue. I generally don't think many people have an issue. Maybe some of us are lucky. Let's just leave it at that. But you don't need a fucking sledgehammer to like makes somebody happy. And if you think about things that way, then I hope that helps you let go of this whole anxiety of like, oh, is it small? It's so small. Because like, at the end of the day, they're just trying to bait you, dog. And if you got baited, then that means you're not ready. You're not ready for this war. Is it funny? I think it's a little bit funny. If they put it in here for malicious intent, then yes, I do understand where all this backlash is coming from. Because yeah, even though I wouldn't get offended by it, even though I think it's stupid, like it's like, you're stupid, man. That's funny. You're stupid though, but that's funny. I wouldn't allow anybody to go around running around saying, haha, small penises make the world go round or something like that. At the same time, it's like, well, now you're just being a bitch. So now you got to talk to something. Now you got to talk to something else. But yeah, so there is a fine line, okay? The other side of everything is the fact that like Nikke is a gooner game. Simply said, it is a gooner as fuck game. If not one of the most gooner games I play Zenless. No, honestly, dude, look, I'm gonna say this right here, right now. I played Nikke for about a week when the Resident Evil thingy dropped. I was not appealed to anything. Like, I got girls, and it's just like PDF files that don't. I'm not gonna say that don't show much, but it's like, what are you guys slobbering about? Because this is just pixels at the end of the day. And if you're telling me that this is enough for people to be like, whoa, it's so famous, then maybe you guys need to really rework what relationships are these days. Because it's really not that, to me, it's not that like exposing erotic, sexual, quote unquote. Yes, it is. It has hints of it, and they're clearly going for that. They're trying to make you feel a certain way. But I see all of it and I go, yeah, no, I'm good. It's not doing much for me. So what that tells me is that if they have a quote unquote diverse team of people out there who are forced to make these images, but maybe don't really have passion behind it because they don't actually showcase what makes the characters like beautiful, quote unquote, like personalities and like outfits and like showcasing them in a way that like actually highlights their character rather than just showing their ass and tits when they shoot. And if there is some saltiness underneath the development team from females that have to spend their days making this game, and if there's some saltiness from the players who have to pay up the ass just to get these shitty PDF files, PNG files, pay up the ass for PNG characters, then yeah, you're gonna be left with this underlining resentment between both parties. And so if you have female, or even like, I don't know, someone who has an agenda against males and is like, you know what, fuck those guys, PP, little PP. And then the guys be like, you know what, I'm good, but you can go fuck yourself. Then yeah, it's a little delicate out there. So where do we end this? At the end of the day, like Shift Up said, as long as we take a hard stance against hateful expressions and like we don't, I don't know, man. I can't even back up Shift Up because like at the end of the day, you did this. You created a service where these men who are testosterone now and should be going out there gymming it out or fucking building houses or go fucking kick flipping in the background on their skateboard are now glued to their phones because the minuscule dopamine that comes from those shitty PNGs is enough for them to weekly basis or I don't know, bi-weekly basis come back and drop money on your app. And you like that. That's why you keep on upping the game, which is why the divide between maybe the females and the males in this point keeps on spreading because you keep on funding that shit. So I'm not gonna give them an out, right? But let's see what they do. Shift up, and I'm trying to be like accepting of it, because I did play Stellar Blade. I like Stellar Blade. That is a phenomenal game in mechanics. Story was fun too. The universe was interesting. So I'd like to give them like humanity, credit for their humanity. And I'd like to believe that they're gonna find a solution to this. But in the year of our Lord 2025, soon to be 2026, I don't know, dude. Can females, just real quick, ladies, can you forgive / not judge a man for having testosterone up the ass? Can you? And if this is your job, like if you're in charge of drawing these pictures and you know exactly what you did, whether you meant to do it, maybe they meant to do that as a invitational vibe, you know what I mean? In a beautiful, perfect, we love each other universe, maybe they just really wanted to serve and they gave you something to look at. But again, the whole discord between these two groups, men, female, saltiness, feminism, blah, 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 just the underlying tensions just makes you jump to a conclusion that, oh no, they're doing this to be evil. And again, if they are doing this to be evil, then shame on them, obviously. We know that there's like a lot of stuff going on right now in the VTuber community as well, for when it comes to men being kind of like dragged in the mud. But what's your solution? Because I don't think they're gonna try to stop like selling this game anytime soon. So figure it out, right? Try to make it work. And I really hope you do. Not because I give a shit about this game, not because I want them to continue like fucking selling out like sellouts, charging people up the ass for stupid ass PNGs, but because I want there to be a acknowledgement, like a middle ground, an acceptance between the both parties of developers and the consumers, the males and the females, and just in general, right? If we're all fans of this game because of the storyline and the characters and all that, then let's celebrate that. Let's focus on our similarities rather than dragging out our differences. So, at the end of the day, men are always going to have higher levels of testosterone. That is nature. Until the day that our testosterone levels fucking die out because woman euthanizes for realsy and evolution decides that testosterone is no longer like necessary in the sense of evolution, then yeah, we'll be fucked, and then we can figure shit out then or whatever. But I believe that it's a positive to be attracted to things, but I believe the negative comes in not learning how to control that attraction, and that loss of control comes from fucking gambling. This fucking gotcha style, oh, more, because then I will get that hit eventually. So that's something to look at, real talk. I hope it all works out. I really do. I care about the industry. I care about the people. I care about Korea. Shit, fuck. Honestly, dude, the birth rate deficit is real in Japan. People are dying faster than are being birthed. They are legitimately dying out as a race. And South Korea is next. And wouldn't you know it, shit's looking pretty bad in California and the United States as well. So, again, let's figure something out. Yes, I get it. You girls don't like it when men oogle because it does something, or it puts insecurities, or like it makes you feel that like maybe you're not enough or something. But at the end of the fucking day, they're PNGs. And no amount of digital art can replace your heart, your character. So prove them wrong. Show us that beauty from within. The beauty that only a feminine heart can show. We need that. Please. Ladies. Princesses. Onegaishimasu. Because what happens if we don't? What happens if Love and Deep Space devs respond to players' complaint that their dark-skinned custom characters are invisible in cutscenes? God damn it! You got me good. This is by Rebecca Valentine over at IGN. Problem has existed since the game came out. Love and Deep Space has been out for almost 2 years now, but its player base is growing increasingly, exasperated over a persistent issue impacting players with dark-skinned custom main characters. Their characters are literally invisible. If you're unfamiliar with Love and Deep Space, it's an otome game developed by Chinese studio Paper Games and published globally by Infinity Nikkei developer. What the fuck? I had no idea they were the same people. Oh my god, it all makes sense now. Oh my fucking god. Sorry god, I love you. Developer Infold Games. Love and Deep Space is unique that it's a 3D otome game with action RPG elements where players can build relationships with 5 different potential love interests while also fighting off space monsters. Ayo. But the romantic elements are the big draw, with visuals, novels, segments, and highly detailed, fully animated cutscenes between the player and character, or MC, and their love interests, presented as gameplay rewards. Love and Deep Space has been out since January 2024. January, huh? Ayo. Almost 2 years. It's been wildly successful during that time, too, with over 50 million players worldwide as of 2025. It won Best Mobile Game at Gamescom this year, and has been praised for its positive tone towards women and their needs in relationships. Wow! Admittedly, Love and Deep Space isn't exactly a pioneer on the diversity front, but there's one body type available for the MC. But there's only one body type available for the MC, and all the available love interests are light-skinned. But there are a variety of customization options for the MC looks, including multiple darker skin tones. It's a feature that wasn't historically been a common one in otome games, and which has to help players with darker skin create MCs that they feel represented them in the romantic scenarios of the game presents. But ever since its release, players have been reporting issues with the game's lighting, causing MCs with darker skin tones to look weirdly shadowed, or occasionally become totally invisible during certain cutscenes. The complaints go back to the launch of the game and are still being processed as recently as this week, and they all look like something like this. Seriously? Love and Deep Space. New comments. Lighting is a problem. The reason it can't be getting better is because black and brown players don't care. Damn. There's just no way. Look, I love this game, but really? Thank you, Love and Deep Space, for giving us darker skinned players. No lighting in this new card. A ver. Holy shit, that's bad. Oh yeah, because that's a female. I thought that was a dude. That was a dude for like 2 seconds, man. Come on. Oh god. Alright, let's see more. Damn. Wow. So it's simple, right? That's kind of hot, actually. Think of her as some celestial being or some shit. So it's simple, right? Because they're not used to like rendering darker colors, the system takes the source code takes that and tries to like sample out the easiest solution, which is just shaded out character, in my opinion. Fudge if I know, but you know, if you know, you know. That's pretty bad. The issue isn't consistent across every cutscene and varies depending on skin tone. The common factor is that players whose MCs have darker skin tones never know when a new update is released if their characters will be visible or if the cutscenes are not. Players experiencing this issue say they've reported it to Infold many times, and recently, IGN received a small flood of submissions to its tips email license from players upset about the issue. Until now, Infold hasn't said anything about the issue at all. But when IGN reached out for the comment, there you go, Infold provided with the following statement. Quote, At Infold Games, we've already believed that our games are shaped together with players who love them, and the community's feedback, discussions, and creative passions are what keep Love and Deep Space evolving and alive. We've seen the conversation and truly value anyone who has taken their time to share their experiences and thoughts. Every comment, whether it's about visual storytelling or representation, helps us better understand our work. It resonates across different perspectives and cultures.
Love and Deep Space is at its heart a shared world of emotion and imagination. We hope to keep building it hand in hand with our players, learning and improving together along the way. Love and Deep Space players are understandably frustrated by this issue. Okay. And the game has specifically been promoted by the company for extremely in-depth technical achievements in getting every detail and characters to feel real. Hair, skin, clothing, everything. It would be one thing if this was a one-time issue with the card that was quickly fixed, but after 2 years of essentially no acknowledgement, players with darker skin are linking the problem to long-time issues in games with racism and colorism. Even if it's not intentionally malicious. They say it all goes back to developers prioritizing to make sure white skin tones look good, and only throwing in darker skin tones as an afterthought, and taking care to make sure they just look just as nice. As one player, Starpop, put it eloquently on Twitter back in May. In history, dating games has been set where it's just a fair male pale MC and the black-brown players don't invest in playing in the game because they don't see themselves. For us, we're seeing someone else or pretending to be someone we're not because of the racism and colorism. Pale skin meant beauty, as dark tones meant dirty, disgusting, unlovable, just because they don't fit the beauty standard. With dating games that doesn't suggest skin tone variation, it's another way of telling us that we aren't worthy or love nor attention. For games that's supposed to represent you falling in love and being treated with fairly because of love interest, love you for who you are, it excluded many potential players due to it. When Love and Deep Space came out, black-brown players got into it and felt like heaven that the MC skin tones can't change. I'll get to the point. It's always a big deal for black-brown players. And it came to an important line where it's been affects like skin tones reflects Dr. Blackman's boundary. History, dating, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there you go. Quote, not properly lighting us basically tells us black-brown players that they don't care enough to consistently and properly light us up. Quote, wrote Starpop later in the thread. Quote, just doing lighting on default MC when you're implemented different tones doesn't work because not everyone has the same skin tone. End quote. Starpop's thread is just one person's experience. It reflects dozens of other comments from non-white players and platforms all over the last few years. Unfortunately, many of the comments recently thought that despairing there ever being a fix to this issue, the community is still encouraging players to report this issue to info players during surveys. It is without any real hope of change. Quote, I almost made a post about this, but then I realized it wasn't worth getting my or anyone else's hopes up. I wrote one Reddit user in reply to another post subject of 3 days ago. Quote, not saying people should give up campaigning that they fix it, not even make dark-skinned MCs look perfect, just visible. But in the complex but with the complexity of lighting and the fact that they couldn't even be bothered to change the shading on the injuries and edge of continuum, my MC scratches look like she's trying to apply the wrong foundation. There are only like 5 skin colors, bro. Come on. I'm redesigning myself to having to submit another bug report that my MC looks like a shadow person and just enjoying the card as much as I can. And if by some miracle they actually address it and it looks decent, I will give info every last prop for my arsenal. All the props straight to their inbox. So yeah, that is a thing, okay? Right? We just talked about how like certain games or certain groups out there are trying to include diversion and diversify the games and make everyone feel included and blah, 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 blah. But this is legit. If you're gonna fucking make an MC, like if you're gonna make a romancing game where you're the main heroine, yeah, you want the immersion. That should be a fucking like a priority, right? And it makes sense why most most romance novels or whatever you want to call these things don't have selectable characters, right? You're just the one character that has a name and you live through her story and cuteness and blah blah blah. It makes things difficult. It makes it easier just to keep it a friggin' one simple female lead. And okay, I get that. If you have a good story, if you're like writing Busta Fellows or something like that, and you know what story you want to tell, then yes, that's fine. Do it. I have nothing wrong. I don't have an issue reading novels, light novels, visual novels, blah blah blah. But the minute you're gonna start charging people money for in-game purchases for like these quote-unquote moments, and you're encouraging, you're fucking asking them to put their period schedules on the app, then the least you can fucking do is make sure that their characters are represented well in your game that they're paying for. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is one of those moments where like it's a good start. I see that you wanted to include more shades of people. You wanted to include 5 different like shadings of a personality.
That's a good start. That's a great start. Now let's just make sure we're actually taking care of these characters, yeah? Not just the one, but all of them. And sure, it's development time, take more time, blah, 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 but don't you think they deserve it? Those ladies out there who have been playing your game, who are spending money, who are investing in your future, don't you think they deserve a little love? I guess you're right. Maybe they should actually just go into relationships. But it is pretty out there, man. It's in this ever fluctuating universe of like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Are we even able to have kids in a fucking like environment that's destroying itself? It's interesting, man. Again, I just think about the birth rates and everything. We're facing a mass extinction, like not right away, but we're already seeing the beginnings of extinction happen in my timeline, and that's fucking incredible, man. And unless we actually learn how to get along with each other again like we used to, then yeah, this might be it for us. That's not a joke. Now, where these games come in, and if they do something if they actually help or if they make things worse, is gonna be a whole argument to itself or a whole discussion to itself. But again, like, if you know what you need as a human being, then you can hypothetically know when to stop indulging yourself. And I believe that should be what we focus on. The idea of how much is enough, but like how much is too much. And if I really want to like keep my character, or like I want to discipline myself, what are the levels that I need to stick at before things get too crazy? Or, where is my responsibility in all this? And yeah, I think that means something, and I hope it does mean something. I really do. Fascinating times, eh? Zenless Zone Zero and Love and Deep Space. But there is a future out there. Yeah, same thing. But if you didn't know, we are indeed in the future. Not only is the humanoids getting extinct, but we got a new anime style, baby. 18 anime manga companies published joint statement criticizing use of generative AI with Sword 2 program. This is by Alex Mateo over at Anime News Network. 18 Japanese companies published a joint statement criticizing the use of OpenAI, along with the Content Overseas Distribution Association, that determined that Sword 2 is producing content resembling works and images that were originally created by companies. According to the statement, Sword 2 is using copyrighted works for machine learning, resulting in an output that closely resembles its company's content. Sword 2 uses an opt-out system as opposed to an opt-in system, meaning that any work is theoretically usable on the program until companies request for the work to be removed, which is another case for the copyright infringement, since Japanese copyright law protects creators' works and requires permissions for usage. Coda has requested that Sword 2 not use its members' companies' content for machine learning without permission, and that OpenAI respond to their claims responding copyright infringement in order to protect creators' works and ensure healthy development of AI technology. Companies also asked for a change to an opt-in system for allowing content in Sword 2, transparency for the machinery-trained data, and appropriate compensation for right holders to grant permission for the works to be used. Statement reassures that the companies are in support of the advancing AI technology, however, that they will not tolerate copyright infringement and that they will take legal action as necessary. Companies involved, these people. Yep. That's a good amount. Okay. And Nihon Mangaka Kyokai, Japan Cartoonist Association. Yep. In the next step of AI domination worldwide, Mr. Worldwide himself. That's right. I've seen the video of Goku fighting. Who was he fighting? Saitama? I think it was. Oh no, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like a weird, like, it was a quick like picture I saw online, and for a second I was like, wait a minute, is this like OG shit? And no, obviously no.
along with the deep fakes of Neil deGrasse Tyson saying that the Earth is flat, along with every other BS, program that has decided that it wants to live. Now we have this. And originally I saw that kind of like clip and I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. And it is cool. It really is cool. But at the same time, it's not cool. Because, yeah, these people are essentially stealing data, information from everybody. You, me, fucking Crunchyroll, Dragon Ball Z. And they're just slapping that into their systems and like saving it in their archives. Which is essentially the shit that your high school teacher told you not to do on your report. So, yeah, I think you should get copyrighted for that. This is one of those moments where I think you should get copyrighted. And I say that lightly because, again, you know how much I fucking hate YouTube and their stupid-ass music copyright system. But this is one of those moments that, like, you can't just take everything everybody has worked for years to create and just fucking say, yeah, I did that. Because you slapped it in a computer that did the work for you. That right there is where we get a little bit into the lines of, like, you need to rethink about this whole creativity aspect. Again, not saying that it can't be great, not saying that it can't be funny, but we'll see, man. We'll see. If they don't want their characters to look a certain way, or if they don't want their characters to punch a certain person in the face, then they should have a right to express that. Maybe they won't be able to enforce it, but specifically when it comes to a company taking all that information and not being responsible with it, then yes, there has to be a sense of responsibility with the copyright in that. And again, we've talked about how do you have to take responsibility for your creation's actions? And yeah, this is one of those moments where yes, you definitely do, because you let the genie out of the bottle. And if you can't fucking like keep your head on your shoulders while the genie is out of the bottle, well, you fucked us all, homie. I hope you liked your YouTube. I hope you like your corner in hell. But if you wanted to visit another circle of hell, YouTube cracks down on skin gambling and violent gaming videos. What is skin gambling? Move comes during Counter-Strike economic crash and ahead of Grand Theft Auto 6. This is by Ethan Gatch over at Kotaku. YouTube is overhauling its community guidelines to be more strictly moderate. Gambling and violent gaming content. Massive Google-owned video platform will soon ban links to online skin casinos and other cosmetic gambling sites. There's also age-restricted videos featuring certain violent imagery, like the kind you might see in any standard playthrough of a blockbuster video game like the upcoming Grand Theft Auto 6. Quote,
Our policies are designed to evolve along the digital world.
YouTuber on a new blog post.
We're making these updates to keep the best new trends like gambling and digital growth, and more closely align the guidelines for material content with the industry standards.
The change is going to effect November 19. Here are the main bullet points. Bam. We're expanding our enforcement to now cover gambling with additional items that have monetary value, including digital goods, video games, skins, cosmetics, and NFTs. Content that depicts, promotes, or facilitates casino sites will now be age restricted. Nice. I do like a good poker game. Or a good blackjack match. We will age restrict an additional small subset of video game content featuring realistic human characters that focus on scenes of torture or scenes of mass violence against non-combatants. Yeah. Non-combatants, got it. Video game gambling is spreading. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the gambling site. Crackdown on social casinos means that even content that's about gambling on stuff that's not worth anything will be age restricted under these new rules. In addition, gambling content that counters third-party services for virtual items worth real money, like say Counter-Strike skins, will now be banned or have to be approved by Google on a case-to-case basis. Huh. Well, lots of games feature loot box style gambling, including one of the most popular ones like Dota 2, Genshin Impact. I was about to say, what about Zenless, man? Games with tradable items like Counter-Strike also have entirely separate off-platform networks of gambling. One example is a website called Skin Club, which lets users battle against one when opening loot boxes. It's been advertised by a website like IGN, and some of the videos are made of battles can rack up hundreds of thousands of views. Why is YouTube cracking down on this situation all of a sudden? Even as popular games like Botted and AS Sport revolve around the viral heights and big spending that surrounds opening loot boxes online. One possibility is that it wants to limit any liability in lawsuits start popping up from parents angry that their kids' YouTube histories are littered with thinly veiled gambling ads. Damn. Alright. The GTA 6 Video Industrial Complex. Now, what about the age-restricting graphic gaming content? Ubi says it will consider several factors when monitoring this type of content. Those include how long the violence lasts, whether the video focuses on it, and whether the violence is happening to someone who looks real. I'd hate to be the person in charge of figuring any of that out. Sheesh. Imagine someone streaming a let's play of GTA 6. Maybe one of the story's missions has them shooting a shootout in the crowded mall, bullets are flying, lots of innocent people get hit. Maybe in a comical amount. The streamer is trying to get through the game but also goofing around and having fun. When it's edited for free consumption, maybe the video's producer is zooming in on the random people getting hit at an intersection as they try to speed away for extra laughs. Sheesh. It certainly sounds like this is the kind of thing that could get a video age restricted. Why would that matter? Well, age-restricted videos get a ton fewer views. Fewer views means less revenue for the created content. And all of a sudden, some common sense prevail guidelines from YouTube have completely abandoned the kind of gaming content that gets produced from the platform. Perhaps the most open interpretation is new rules caveat around human-looking victims. Who decides that? Do human-looking aliens count? What if that blocky humans from a game like Minecraft or Roblox can kill Sonic and Pikachu, but not Mario and Goku? Lots of YouTube gaming videos are actually just people modding all the random stuff into Minecraft and GTA 5. Creators currently have just a couple of weeks to figure all that out. Even older content will be moderated under new rules come out mid-November. YouTube is encouraging them to go back through the channel histories and take scalpel with anything that might run afoul in the new guidelines. Otherwise, it will automatically be removed or age restricted. I'm sure whatever AI process is used to do that won't make any mistakes. Sheesh. Alright. So there's that. And yeah. Whew, interesting. Some of you may have noticed we are on YouTube. It's just a streaming platform. It's hard for me to kind of find some footing on this because on one end, YouTube is like the greatest information source, period. Not only is it the internet with like data, but it's visual data. You know, you can Google how to change your engine and someone will have a visual representation of how to change your engine, which is 1,000 times more like helpful than just opening the manual and reading step by step which screws to unscrew. So there's that. Number 2 is the idea that, at least for me, I don't give a fuck about making money off of this. I've never once looked at this as like a business opportunity. I've never wanted to be like hounded down by this feeling of like, oh, I gotta make this video so I can get this much, or oh, I gotta hit this number so I don't need that in my life. Could we do it? Maybe. Will we ever get there? Maybe. But it's not, that's not who I am, nor is that who I want this to be, blah, 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 blah. Saying all that though, it's still pretty stupid because even if I wanted to be the one guide, I was like, nah, fuck the money. I don't need it. Let's just do YouTube. YouTube and Google still gets all the revenue from the ads. Like I can't just be like, no ads, no this. I don't need revenue. Just don't add me. I can't just say that because it's still this fucking billion ass corporation that is like, you know, freaking what's the word? Siphoning out money from our pockets as we keep on growing and growing in the digital age. But it is a good idea though, for the most part, to restrict gambling, to restrict like murderous intent. Do they have the capabilities of doing that, perhaps. I don't know. Again, the idea of like having an AI take care of all this shit for you just feels so half-assed. Like, there's nothing more disappointing than like hearing someone be like, "Oh, you need to do this, and then you be this person, and blah, blah, and you need to do this," but they don't have the actual self-discipline to like do what they're telling you to do, to do it themselves, if that makes sense. And that's really annoying, right? So if YouTube decided to like revamp the YouTube system, you know, and like tone it down on the monetization shit, but still maybe figure out a way to promote more adult content in a way that's like, it doesn't have to be like super bloody, super gory, super sexual, or whatever you want to say. But I think there should be a place for adult content. And I'm not meaning sexual content. I mean like shit that you can't say in front of a 5-year-old. Like, hey man, if you get shot in the head, you should do this, or blah, blah, blah. Shit that like we as adults don't maybe wouldn't know off the bat, but could be helpful in the future, and hence somebody makes a YouTube video about that, right? It's a very fine balance, because you have no idea what anybody might say about certain things, especially if you give them the green light of going like, hey, this is an adult section, so you're allowed to say whatever you want, just quote unquote be cool. But we'll see. If you want to do that, if you really want to open the floodgates and let all the shittiness of the universe open up, but specifically for adults, I believe there could be value in that. Not because there's a shitload of shitty people being shitty on the internet, because we already have that, but because these shitty people are adults. And just maybe, an adult conversing with another adult can find some intelligence in the conversation. Does that make sense? I know I'm being very vague with certain things, but TLDR, there was a quote out there. I think it's fucking Harry Potter or some shit. Either Harry Potter or like some other thing. But it's a quote about this old guy. He's looking at a parent, and the parent's frustrated with their kids, and the old guy goes like, the old guy tells the parents, he's like, well, they're kids. That's a role that they're not gonna have forever. So let's let them be kids while they still have the chance. And yeah, I think that's very important. Real talk. Because I'll be real with you. I found Grand Theft Auto at the ripe age of like 5 or 6, 4 through 6. My memories are very vague. All I know is that I was born with a controller in my hand, and I've been playing Nintendo Entertainment System to Super Nintendo to Sega Genesis to to the Game Boys to PlayStation, and then PlayStation 2 was a console I didn't have until I was in middle school. It took us a while to get there, but our neighbor had PS2, and he had Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and we would, again, I am my older brother's little fucking annoying ass brother, so I would go with them and hang out with them. Some 10, 7-year-olds would be hanging out playing Grand Theft Auto, and then this 5, 6, 7-year-old would be there in the room with them. So I was there when we were throwing like cuss words at each other. I was slinging cuss words. I was there absorbing this kind of like, oh, this is what you people think is going on there, or this is what you feel that you need to be the cool guy in this generation. And I'm a very different person because of my background and because of what I've had to see on a day-to-day basis from my youth. But I was able to see how Grand Theft Auto wasn't real life.
because I saw real life and I already knew what to expect from that. But I can't say for a fact that my nephew watching I can't say for a fact that when I saw my nephew playing my disc of Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox back in the day, I freaked the fuck out. Like, I didn't go off on him, but I had a moment of like almost a cold shock of like, how much has he seen? Is it too late? How long has he been playing this? And it was a genuine fear that I messed up, that I did something wrong to him. But thankfully, I believe he's a good kid. He's a smart motherfucker, and he came out all right. I think he's okay, you know. But that's one of those moments that I think of like a lot when I think of like how easy it is just to fuck somebody up. And hopefully you can grow up and you can be okay like me. But why risk it? Why? They're just kids. It's a role they won't have for long. Let them be kids. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another beautiful week, huh? Nice little jazz in the background. I don't know where that came from, but I see you. I see you. I like. And if you like, please hit that like. Subscribe. We're here every Sunday whenever we can. And I love learning. I love trying. I love processing these things. I think more than anything, it helps me just kind of like think about it in a different context. And I could easily not do this and do other shit like with my life or whatever, but I find value in doing this, and that's why I like doing it. So I hope you like it too, and I hope we all like learn some things here and there. You never know. But let's get going. GTA 6 is gonna be an interesting time. I'm probably not gonna buy it day one if it costs $100. I do not want to be that guy. I don't think I need $100 games in my life. I'll just wait for it to go on sale and all that BS. But looking forward to what it is that we do in the future. Real talk. So let's look forward to more. Huzzah. Let's invite our homie back. Alright. We up. That's nice. I like that. Second fret. Let's go. All right. Well, hoping y'all have been having a wonderful Sunday. Things happen. Well, I think I was supposed to play Phasmophobia yesterday. Ah, shit. I saw Chainsaw Man again. No, I saw... What did I see? Oh crap! I saw that Emma Stone movie that we talked about. Oh shit! You guys didn't hear me talk about it because the audio was dead. No, we saw that Emma Stone movie, the new one, Bergolonia or whatever like that. It's pretty fun. It's coming up very soon. Movies of the week. For right now, let's get some jams. Wow. Life's too short to even care at all. Whoa. I'm losing my mind, losing control. These fishes in the sea will staring at me. Whoa. The wet world aches for the beat of a drum. Whoa. If I could find a way, see I straight, I'd run away. Fortune that I should have found by now. And I'm waiting for this Sarah to come down. Love's too short to even care at all. Whoa. Now coming up out of the blue. This heart there looking for my heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dark world aches for the splash of the sun. Whoa. If I could find a way, see this straight, I'd run away to some fortune that I should have found by now. So I run up now to things that take a restore me, restore life the way it should be. I'm waiting for this car, Sarah. Come down, come down. Make your head on. Whoa. I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, losing control. If I could find a way to see this straight, I'd run away to some fortune that I should have found by now. So I run up to the things they say that restore me, restore life the way it should be. Waiting for this car, Sarah, to come down, come down. Folks of the thoughts are up now. Whoa. One more spoon of pop syrup now. Whoa. So kinda. That E string is out of tune. dance again. Guilty feet, they got no rhythm. So kind. No, you're not a fool. Waste the chance that I've been given. I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Okay, I'm trying to find a balance between the freaking audio and the guitar. Don't worry about it. But hey, do you know that Billie Eilish just won something? I don't even know what she won. I genuinely don't give a fuck. But her speech that she gave at that award, that's my wife. She played Tally and I'm Brooklyn. That's all that matters. That's my wife. Never practiced before. Now I just fall down. I don't know things. Used to know, but I'm not sure now. I was made for. What was I made for? Hey, I don't know the song. Taking a drive, it was night blue. Hey, deal. Took so life. Turns out I'm not really real. Just something you paid for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. I don't know this song. Now I'm sad again. Don't tell my boyfriend it's not what he's made for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel. 'Cause I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be happy. Something I'm not, something I can be, something I wait for, something I'm made for. Something I'm made for. I did not know that song at all. Sometimes you'll feel something and I'll be like, yeah, I'll pull it out of my ass. But what matters is that there's people out there that can think, people that actually have a heart, that are still feeling, right? The fact that they're out there singing to people and like, like they're idols. People see them and they look up to them and they think of how great their life must be and all that. And to think that to think that there's still people in that room that can look down and see the suffering, that can understand just how much has been taken away from us on a personal, spiritual, humanitarian level. So we gotta look up to, right? So we gotta believe in. So, something like that. Something like that. No guitar. Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you in awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders or how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain. Listen, you harp about some new soulmate. He's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you wake up one day. Run to me, confess your love, at least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I love you from the start. Be da da, be da da da, ba da. Dun, dun. What's a guy to do? Lying on my bed staring into the blue. Unrequited, terrifying. Love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest. I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. Confessed I loved you, just thinking of you. I know I've loved you from the start. Not bad. It's better. But hey, hope you enjoy that. Hope you enjoy your week. Hope y'all take care. Have fun out there. Brush your teeth. Enjoy the candy if you still have it. And be ready for turkey season. I like Thanksgiving. I get to cook a lot. And I hope you like that too, even though that popped my ears. But take care. Stay happy. Love each other. And I love you too. But until then, hasta la próxima. Ciao. Matane. It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even. Oh, fucking body try. Keep that above this sign flying beyond. I know. Time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as a pendulum swings. Watch it fly by at the end of the day. Text like
But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Don't know why. It's time to find myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering of the fine to talk with me. I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me would eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard. My trust in you, push that as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I put my trust in you, push that as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. Oh, I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Rest in peace, King. Chester. Love you. Ja. Mata ne.